Hi everyone, I'm Lu Jia. This is a class for Bible 505 Language 2. Today I will give a brief introduction to Dead Sea Scrolls. So Dead Sea Scrolls are a set of collections of texts found in the Judea wilderness. These texts had been brought to the settlement or copied at Qumran between the 3rd century before Com era and the 1st century Com era. All of them are found in caves near Qumran at the northwest corner of the Dead Sea, as you can see in the picture. So far, scrolls have been found in 11 caves. The first one, which was called Cave 1, is discovered in late 1946 or early 1947 by members of the Amra Bedouin tribe. These Dead Sea Scrolls started to be published in 1960s, but most of them were not available to the public until 1990s. So what do the Dead Sea Scrolls contain? Well, the content of the scrolls can be divided almost equally into three parts. First, the biblical books. Second, other Jewish writings that were read at the time throughout the land of Israel. And third, sectarian documents that described the beliefs and religious practices of the community who wrote them. There are over 900 manuscripts reconstructed from the fragments. They are written mostly in Hebrew, with some in Aramaic, and a small number in Greek. The discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls is very significant for the text of Scripture. It provides the earliest Hebrew Bible manuscripts. Dead Sea Scrolls are the oldest copies of many biblical books. Book of Isaiah, for example, was considered the earliest known manuscript, and it was older than any other complete Hebrew manuscript of the book by about 1,000 years. Second, the Dead Sea Scrolls show significant textual variants. Some manuscripts align with the Masoretic text, others resemble the Samaritan Pentateuch, and some agree with the Septuagint, the ancient Greek translation. This variety proves that in the Second Temple period, there was not a single fixed Bible, but several versions in circulation. Such discoveries are crucial because they help us see how the biblical text developed and why modern translations sometimes reflect different traditions. Third, some Dead Sea Scrolls rewrite Scripture. Books like Jubilees and the Genesis Apocryphon retell biblical stories by adding details, harmonizing laws, or reinterpreting events. These writings show how Jewish groups in the Second Temple period engaged creatively with Scripture, shaping it to address their own questions and community concerns. The Dead Sea Scrolls are highly significant for the translation of Scripture in three ways. First, they improve the accuracy of modern translations. By comparing the Masoretic text and the Samaritan Pentateuch and the Septuagint with the scrolls, translators can evaluate textual variants and produce accurate modern Bibles. Second, the scrolls reveal cultural and religious backgrounds. They show the beliefs, practices, and interpretive methods of Jewish group in the Second Temple period, which shaped how Scripture was understood. Finally, they support exegesis studies. Commentaries such as the Genesis commentary illustrate how ancient communities read and applied the Bible, providing models that enrich our interpretation today. The Dead Sea Scrolls made a major contribution to the preservation and understanding of the Bible. First, they preserve early biblical texts, providing copies that are over 1,000 years older than the previously known Hebrew manuscripts. Second, they reveal the religious and cultural life of Judaism in the Second Temple period, showing what people believed and practiced at that time. Finally, they support our understanding of textual evolution, since the scrolls allow scholars to trace how different versions of the biblical text developed and were transmitted across centuries. The Dead Sea Scrolls remain important for biblical studies today for several reasons. First, they provide ancient witnesses to the biblical text, offering some of the earliest surviving copies of Hebrew scriptures and helping confirm the reliability of the text over times. Second, they illuminate the Jewish world of the Second Temple period, revealing the beliefs, practices, and daily life of communities that shaped early Judaism. Finally, they help correct misconceptions about the development of scripture and the diversity of textual traditions, showing that multiple versions of certain books circulated simultaneously, enriching our understanding of the Bible's history. Alright, that's all for today's introduction to the Dead Sea Scrolls. I hope you found it interesting and informative. Thank you for listening.